A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, the Twin Flame Union. And in this channeling session, we are going to be talking about the energy of the Divine Masculine, where he is wishing and he's praying to God and he's hoping, he's thinking about the Divine Feminine. He wants her to be around him, and there is also a helplessness in this energy because even though he really wants her to be by his side or be with him in his life, but he knows that it's not happening, it's not possible. So there is some kind of helplessness also in his wish, in his prayer. So let's get started. So what has happened in the life of Divine Masculine is that he is having a very rough time because his imagination, his assumption, or his thinking that he was right about certain things, he was right about the Divine Feminine, or he was okay with whatever he did, it has sort of come down crashing on him, and the weight of his mistake is very heavy onto him. What he used to think about her is literally like completely opposite. So he is thinking in his mind, he used to be the most correct person, because you have to understand the Divine Masculines are extremely logical people who want something in return for whatever they do. So if I put in, say, 2 hours of my day on this girl, on this relationship, will I get this? So even a commitment or even a marriage or even a tag of relationship or anything, even a feel-good factor, they feel that if I'm going to invest, say if I'm going to send 10 messages to her, is it going to lead into me and her staying in a hotel room for a night? So what has led to this change or this thinking in him that his assumption or understanding was wrong is because the Divine Feminine, who has become very smart now, she has removed that over-emotional side of hers. Because not only the Divine Masculine, but when you do inner work, you realize one thing and you've reached to a certain level of mastery. And once you reach to a stage of mastery, and this is not to make you feel superior, this is how the process is. When you reach to that level, you will realize that when you are on that place, and you were always given that place, it was always designated for you. But to reach that place, the universe is supposed to test you in many ways. It is a test of your emotions. It is a test of your patience. It is a test of your resilience and your toleration power, and also that inner confidence, that connection with Source, because the connection with Source goes on and off. When you're born as a child, the Source connection is very solid, very strong. But when you grow up and you get programmed and you go through abuse and you form trauma bonds, that connection sort of switches off. After what happens in the twin flame journey, and when you are in the final stages, when you learn to surrender, you realize that nobody else can actually give you support. Whether they want to give you support or not, that's not the point. Whether they can give you support or not is the point. Because when you are in the mastery stage, you are not supposed to expect from other people to understand where you are, because they can never understand. And when the feminine reaches this place, this gives her a lot of power. There are 3 areas where you get power. Number 1 is support. Number 2 is authority, and number 3 is abundance. Although a lot of Divine Feminines become financially settled, properly settled, and they understand abundance, but because there could be certain goals, they might feel that, okay, this goal seems to be very far-fetched, or it seems to be very big. And they've been taking money because they've always grown up, or they've been raised in a family where there is a lot of attachment to money, the cash, or whatever you want to call it, income, but there is very less understanding of abundance. When you're in the abundance consciousness, you realize that whatever you take from Mother Earth can give you everything. Whatever you take from the Mother Earth will stay to the Mother Earth, or it will go to another person after you. So though you are manifesting wealth, or you're manifesting things, or you're manifesting whatever you require, as long as you're on the planet Earth, whether you want to do it for yourself or whether you want to inspire others, because in your opinion, you will not need anything. You will not need anything at all. When you come to the stage where you don't need anything, then you will not even need to step out anywhere. You will not need to, lift any weight or do anything, but the things will come to you on their own. And that will give you a lot of confidence. So you need to understand that first and foremost, the feminines feel that they need support from other people. They don't even want other people to hold their hand and hug them or whatever. There comes a point where they just want someone to listen to them without giving them any advice or without judging their, situation. Just a listening, just a listening. It is also said in many cases that, like, we people, like when I'm doing my therapy work, I realize that a lot of divine feminines simply want to be heard. So that's why the counseling sessions sometimes go on for 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and I request them to talk as much as they can talk. Those of you who have taken therapy from me would know what I mean to say. There are very sweet people also. They say, no, I want to listen to you only. But I'm like, no, because I want you to talk. You have not been heard. No one has heard you properly. No one has listened to you. The moment you start saying something, they'll tell you calm down, or they'll tell you do this, or they'll tell you do that. They'll put some negative situation or negative thought that if you do this, this will happen, that will happen. So the basic case, the actual thing is acknowledgement. The biggest problem with the people who suffer from this situation, from neglect, is that they were not acknowledged. When they were a child, they wanted to speak about certain things, and if it was a child who was very awestruck and in this, when they see simple things also, like a flower or a butterfly or a blue sky or anything, they could be a star seed, or they could have, for them this whole experience of earth is like, oh my God. So when they try to talk about things to their parents, even if small things like they've just started learning how to jump, how to say make a paper plane, or how to even big things, like how to win a race, or how they went to the school and something happened with them. So it's just the child's way. It's just a human way actually. Right from the womb, we want to be loved by another person. We want to be acknowledged by other person. We want to be supported by other people. Like a baby is completely helpless, completely dependent on other people. This is what the baby thinks. That is where the human evolution starts. But actually the baby is the soul, and the soul is capable of anything. So the same soul turns into an old man, the same soul turns into an adult, the same soul is a baby, and in all stages they feel certain way about themselves, like whether they are needing other people or not, or yes or not. Like some children are very playful, very happy, they're always smiling, they don't need anybody, they don't need toys, they are one of those children, you look at them even in the childhood state and you're like, oh, such a happy kid, such a satisfied kid. But what happens is, if the child suddenly has siblings and the other siblings are very cranky or very, you can say very dramatic or very troubled or very frustrated, depending on whatever life they have been raised in, there is a huge disparity in their behavior, and the mother or the parents are forced to actually give more attention to the cranky one. The cranky ones need more attention most of the times. But there is, there is a feeling that develops in the child that I am not looked after. Or certain situations happen where there is a comparison is made with the child, like you can pull it off, you can do it, but the other one can't. In some cases, it can be said in a very, loving way. When you say it in the loving way, it can become, or it can act as a confidence booster. But if the same thing is said in a frustrated way, or in a very, mean way, or the parents just put on a lot of responsibilities on a child because they see that this child is very mature, this child is very happy, this child is very content, so this child doesn't need anything. Or we can give child a lot of responsibilities, so he can look after the house, he can take care of the siblings, he can go to the market and buy things, even if the child is 4 years old or 5 years old. From the parents' perspective, the child is very wise, very impressive, or they start looking at the child as their own parent. So the child becomes a surrogate father, a surrogate mother, a surrogate husband, or a surrogate wife, depending on whatever role the child has to play. But when the child steps out in the world, from the world's perspective, they don't see it like a wise child. They see it like a child who's vulnerable and who's doing a lot of work. And that creates an energy of lack of safety, lack of protection, so the child becomes very open for dark energies. So when the child cannot talk about good things to the parents, imagine not getting any acknowledgement for something very basic. Like, mom, I found this beautiful orange. It was, so big, so huge, and somebody just gave it to me for 1 rupee or whatever the currency is in your country. And the mom goes like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. And honey, I'm working. Honey, can you do it later? Please, baby, please. I don't have time for you. Please. So that repeated statement, I don't have time for you, I don't have time for this, or say this is just an orange I'm talking about. Maybe this child is actually very gifted and very special, and the child does something very unique or very special, and everyone in the outside world is praising the child, but the child only wants it to be shared with the mother or with the father or maybe with the grandparents or somebody, who's very close to the child. But none of those people give him or her any importance or any acknowledgement, or even if it's like a big thing, they are so used to putting on responsibilities towards the child, or they're so used to ignoring the child's need, or in some cases they just don't realize it, that it's a child. It's just a child. They don't realize that. So what happens is the child goes into a very disassociative, or a very, in a place where, again, very open, they have to please everyone around. They feel that maybe I need to do something more, something extra, something add-on. Now, cut to coming to the future, the child has grown and things have happened and the child has done this, that, whatever, and they are in a twin flame situation now, or they think that they are in love with the person who's just amazing, who's probably the answer of all the questions, and they're going to do this or do that and blah, blah, blah. But unfortunately, that doesn't turn out so well. Again, I will say he or she, because the femininity, the nurturing, those energies can be in a man as well as it can be in a woman. So now when they are in the twin flame journey, especially in the surrender stage, they will pass really big hurdles. Some of the hurdles would be so huge for them because they have spent their whole life, working on them, and there haven't been anybody who could probably understand that or relate with it or give them just a listening, okay, I listen to you. And they have been listening to a lot of people. Imagine, they have been listening to people since childhood. They have been giving support to a lot of people. They have been extending a helping hand to a lot of people. They have been extending their home spaces or their hearts or their time or whatever, even helping people get settled into their careers or giving them confidence, shaping them up. And suddenly they realize that they don't need to do any of that anymore. Because maybe it's tiring for them, maybe it's not something they are willingly doing, maybe it's just a habit pattern for them, because what happens is they become a little bit logical. This twin flame journey does that to a lot of people who are very emotional, people who are oversensitive empaths. They sort of realize, or they sort of understand that, when they give support to other people and other people don't give that support back to them, somehow it makes them understand that maybe I don't even need their support, because only those people can give you support who have that support, that infinite support within them. It's like, even if you take out a bucket of water, you have a big, say 1000 liter tank full of water, and if you take out a bucket of water, it will not have much difference. It will not put the tank into any lack or limitation. But if somebody only has a bucket of water, and being an empath or being somebody like that, then you're expecting them to even give that bucket of water to you, it is not going to happen. It is not that person's fault, or it is not anybody else's fault. It's just the way it is. So the divine feminines are actually in a position, in a place of power now. And in this channeling, of course, everyone is going through a different trajectory, so everyone has a different state, and that's why I recommend personal sessions if in case you don't resonate with it, or if you feel that you're not happy with your situation or whatever things. When the divine feminine was in touch with the divine masculine, when she had met him any number of years ago, at that point in time she was a helpless personality, a helpless person. There are various types of narcissism. The most dangerous one is obviously the grandiose one, but there are other subtle types of narcissism as well. But we always attract a certain type of energy or certain type of person in our life because we are in the opposite polarity energies as well. So you cannot run away from a person if no one is chasing you. Like this whole runner-chaser game, it gets over when the feminine stops chasing him, because she has got the title of the chaser. She is the one who is a people pleaser. She is the one who's always going out of her way to keep other people happy. What the trouble is, when she goes out of her way and when she's on the ascension, even if it's a small thing, when those other people do not understand her, do not give her that listening, or probably they just give certain advice that is further demoralizing or demotivating, she comes to that understanding that she is also wrong by seeking support or by seeking validation from other people. Now, the divine masculines, this particular channeling will have part 2. It's been a while that I have done channelings in part series. So what has happened is that she and any one of you, even though you feel or you have been told that in the 5D you have to respect, you have to love, or you have to send support to your twin flame, but you have to understand, when you are genuinely living in 5D, in that reality, then you don't even think about 3D world, right? So also, sometimes the divine feminine has also been told by people who are close to her that you are delusional. You're living in some delusional world that does not exist. So with time, she strikes a balance between that also, a 5D world or a higher consciousness, along with what is happening in the real world. So as to say, because your real world is also a mirror of or a reflection of your 5D world, right? So if your 3D world is giving you a certain database, a certain data input, and it does not match with your 5D reality or 5D world, then there is a very important need of working it out. Like I said, that to everyone we give different suggestions or solutions. To some people, I would tell them that give your divine masculine love in the 5D, support in the 5D, forgive them, don't be negative about them. Just realize and know that they love you, but you don't have to focus on them. You just should know that they love you, or they loved you when they were with you, and they are just, probably they were incapable, they were not programmed properly. Even they can have those issues if you can have those issues. But to some of the divine feminines or some of the people who are on the ascension journey, I will not recommend them to think about the divine masculine even from the 5D world or perspective. Because in that case, the feminine has to correct how to deal with them in the matrix reality or the 3D reality. You have to know this is a basic thing, because it has been something about you, your energy, your presence, your lifestyle, something that sort of triggers them, or that sort of annoys them, or in some case they also become like a leech. In some cases they want to suck out some kind of energy from you, which they see you are a source of that energy, you have that energy in abundance. But that may not be the true thing, that may not be correct. Or they might think initially, like by your looks or by your personality, by the way you live, they could have imagined you to be a supplier for, say, finances, or for a hi-fi life, as you say. Maybe you look like a socialist, not a socialist, but a social figure who's always into merrymaking or partying or going out or drinking. But when they come in contact with you, when they spend 6 months with you, 7 months with you, they get to know you better, they realize that you are definitely a boring person from their perspective. You may be very satisfied, you may be very happy, just sitting in your house, watching a movie alone, spending time alone, painting something, decorating something, cooking something. You may be really loving it. But from another person's perspective, they would be like, what is this boring lifestyle? I thought, from the pictures, from the videos, and from the things she was doing at all the events she was attending, that she would be a very outgoing personality, always surrounded with people. Because narcissistic people need supply from many people. The basic difference between empath and oversensitive empath is, even the oversensitive empath needs people. I'm not saying only that other person, even the oversensitive people, empaths need, but they become needy. That's the problem. Everyone needs a certain type of people, but over a period of time, when they do the inner work, when they do the ascension work, they realize that they were always in the solitude zone. They were some kind of hermits. They were some kind of seekers ever since they were born. Okay, but to mix up with the world, or to sort of the right word would be fit in. When you try to fit in with other people, you do certain things. But if that thing or those events or those situations drain your energy out, drain it out completely, then you have to figure out, even if you're in a crowd or even if you're with other people, what to do, what not to do. Now the divine masculine, because the tables have turned in this channeling, he is connected with a lot of people. He is also meeting a lot of people. He is doing this, that. But he feels like he cannot get the feminine out of his head. He keeps thinking about her. And now he's realizing that back then, when I was telling her to leave me alone or going away from her, I had a very different image of her in my mind. When that image started triggering me, I had to run away from it. Okay, or I had to just treat her badly. But it was not an obligation to treat her badly also. It came out naturally from him, the bad behavior, the meanness, the rude statements, the abandoning. All of that happened from his side naturally. Thinking that this is how she is. She is a typical bitch. Although I see bitch as a... I do want to go to the beach though for just a day. More than a day, it would be too much. So, normally I think bitch is a compliment, but in the 3D matrix world, it is seen as a negative thing. Bitches are most loyal animals I've seen, and they are, I say that dogs are the best animals, but the females of dogs, the bitches, are even better, more loyal, more loving, more amazing. I don't even know how dog and bitch became an abuse. I don't know, it should be a compliment for people actually, because that type of loyalty you don't see in anyone, and the most amazing human beings are actually the most loyal human beings. So if you have a lot of dogs, or if you have those type of pets who are very loyal, who are always around you, who are always taking care of you, you're always spending time with them, they know your moods very well. When you're in a happy mood, they will entertain you. When you're sad, they'll uplift your spirits. And I'm saying this from my experience, because in my case, it's always the animals, especially the social animals, who have actually uplifted me a lot. Human beings, from my perspective, they could not help me as much as my animal friends, my dogs have helped me. So I'm very, very grateful to them. Similarly, you also, everyone needs to find that connection with the source, that loyal connection, because if you have loyalty within you, you will have loyal friends around you. If you don't fully have it, then you will not be able to recognize who to talk to about what. Who is going to extend support to me, who is going to really understand me, who will be on the same page with me. if you have to somehow, again come on the other side, which is to be able to understand other people, then it also means that the divine feminine has actually grown immensely, because she can differentiate who can give me support, who can give me moral support, or who can just be there as a positive energy, as a listening energy, or as a acknowledging energy in bad times, as a consoling energy. Who are those people? So she'll be able to decide that. Now on the other hand, now that we are very clear about how this energy shift has happened, it's obviously because the divine feminine has changed the energy. Now the divine masculine, who's sitting in his world with his friends, doing all the social activities, he feels like, I used to think she's boring. I used to think she's like this or she's like that. But over a period of time, in all these years, I have started liking the things that she used to do, and I personally want to do it now. And probably he's become an avid reader, or he has become some kind of he started a side business which makes him very happy, which is his basically real thing. It's not something that he's been forced by the family or the society or anything. He feels that this is what I love to do, and she has inspired him to be that type of a person. And this time it is not coming from a revenge or a competitive streak attitude. Rather, it is coming from, even I had those things in me. That's why I got attracted to her. Now what is happening is that he's become a little emotional as well about this. And I'll tell you how. The statements that he's making in this particular channeling is also stemming up from the regret, the feeling of loss, the feeling of you have a beautiful diamond, for example. Again, I don't want any divine feminine to think that I'm trying to make them feel superior and the DM inferior. That's not the case. In fact, you need to feel a little uplifted now in life. You cannot depend, or you cannot be in a zone where you feel you're not good enough. So he is now saying that he thinks that the divine feminine has a certain discipline in her life. He thinks that she has a certain discipline, and she can differentiate between heaven and hell. She can differentiate between paradise and the lower frequencies. And she had always, in many ways, earlier showed that to him, portrayed that to him. And the third thing that he feels, that she is self-motivated. And she cannot get demotivated or demoralized by me anymore. He knows that he is demoralizing. He knows that he has demoralized her. By now, he knows it very well. It was maybe his fear. It was maybe, that I won't be accepted the way I am. Whatever it is. And at that point in time when he was in that zone, because the feminine was chasing him so much, that was also wrong on her part. When she's chasing him so much, she's not in her own power any which way. You never chase people when you're in your own power. You may want to heal yourself. You may be like, yeah, I don't want to do this, so I need to find a way to heal myself. But you'll not run after anyone if you're in your present power, He feels genuinely that she can differentiate between different types of people and energies. Like, she can differentiate between pain, she can differentiate between joy, she can differentiate between a fake smile or a happy smile. And she always knew that I was unhappy and miserable. This is a very important statement that I've made. It can help you a lot of people. The divine masculine, she told him many times that you are miserable, or you are in need of some help, or you should not react like this. Why don't you believe me? I do love you. Why don't you trust our relationship? Why do you feel that it will never work out? Those type of things. Why do you think this? Why do you think that? So at that point in time, it was like, no, she's just, really troubling me. She's triggering me. She's making me so angry. I'm so frustrated with her, this and that. But now, cut to all these years have passed, and he's literally realizing that all the things she said about me, or all the things she had predicted, or all the things I felt at that point in time, they are true actually. So she knew even at that time that I was going through certain issues, but I was not willing to accept it. The biggest reason why a narcissistic person cannot be healed, it's very difficult to heal them because they don't realize that they have a problem. They may be in a lot of pain. They may be creating a havoc around them. Wherever they go, people will be sad, upset. It will be, a lot of people would be making efforts to uplift them, to make them feel good and this and that. But that doesn't help them. That doesn't help them. Even the feminine tried that route. She tried many ways to entertain him, to please him, to convince him that we can do it, you're good. But he wasn't getting it because he needed a bigger validation, or it was like, she's bothering me, Now he wants to get bothered by her. So he is asking her, how did you become this hero? How did she become this hero suddenly in my eyes? I thought she's zero, but now she's a hero. How did this happen? So this is where I will pause this particular channeling and come back for more in the next part. Till then, one love and peace out.